think many are going to try to land in that landing zone because 35 is an advantage early for any team.
Easton Stick gets the start under center on first down. The handoff to Elijah Dotson. And Dotson gets back to the line of scrimmage. So one of those rules is that touchback to the 35. Also new this year, the digital line to gain. So any type of measurement, we won't have the chain gain come out anymore. It'll be a digital measurement. And there's also been an adjustment to the onside kick rule. You can now do that at any time. You just have to declare it if you want to have an onside kick.
Yeah, it used to be just for the fourth quarter. Now you can do it anytime you want. Just have to clarify like you mentioned.
Easton Stick now in the shotgun. On 2nd and 10. Stick pressured, gets away, throws over the middle, and that ball is complete. David Sills, the 5th, with the catch. That was a dangerous pass, but a completion of 15 yards.
Unbelievable job here of moving in the pocket. Get some pressure off his right side, but you can see him going through his progressions. Now he uses athleticism. Talk to TJ Yates before the game, the passing game coordinator. He said this guy's more athletic than people think.
Stick dumps it off to Dotson. Dotson with a nice cutback. He takes it down to the 37-yard line.
Dotson, undrafted free agent, played a season for the Chargers, appeared in 4 games. Didn't play much. He's got an opportunity to make some plays tonight with the 2 stars, Algier and Bijan Robinson, out. And where he shows up on special teams will be a big point of emphasis as well.
2nd down and 2. Play action. Stick steps up, trying to dive back the line of scrimmage. They're going to say he was down 2 yards back, sacked by DJ Reader. 10th-year guy out of Clemson, number 98 for Detroit.
Love the play call, though, by Zach Robinson, offensive coordinator. 2nd and short, looking to take a shot, plus 50-yard line, had a chance to take it, wasn't there. But give Easton Stick a lot of credit for climbing in the pocket, not making that a deeper sack than it probably could have been.
3rd and 3. Handoff, Dotson, he gets stuffed. Zach Cunningham right there to stand up Elijah Dotson. And we're going to see right now, do you go for it here or do you test the leg of Lenny Craig, one of the kickers, because you've got that kicking situation with Craig and Younghoe Koo?
Be about a 55-yarder from here. Looks like they're going to save that for later in the game. We'll see what they can pull through here on a nice 4th down opportunity.
4th and 3. Stick going down the sideline looking for Sills. Incomplete. There is no flag. Caprio Boodle on the coverage. Offensive guy says pass interference. Defensive guy says that was clean. The Lions take over at their own 38-yard line. Hendon Hooker has the quarterback, Craig Reynolds, in the backfield on first down. Hooker comes towards the sideline and completes the pass to his tight end, Shane Ziltra, who gets tackled right away. Time for our Home Depot tools to the game. How doers get more done. Guys, the preseason storylines.
Yeah, and you just mentioned it about maybe getting a kick in. This is going to be a big-time, I think, battle between the 2 kickers in Lenny Craig and Younghoe Koo. Younghoe Koo missed 9 field goals last season. They brought in a little competition. We'll see if he, can withstand Craig.
Hooker in trouble, gets rid of it, and he gets hit right away. And that is by Ebiketie.
They're getting some pressure on that quarterback, and that's exactly what this team wants to see happen. They went out and got some guys. They have some guys coming back who have been productive for them. Ebiketie getting some nice pressure there early on, and that was a great tackle on the first play by DeMarco Helms. Good to see him back out in the field.
That's part of that back end. That's a competition. 3rd down and 8. Can the Falcons force a 3 and out? Hooker stepping up, and Hooker Avoids now, he has it stripped, fumble, ball loose. Falcons have it. That's D. Alford with the recovery.
It looked like D'Angelo Malone was the guy who forced that ball out. But as you can see already, the energy, the enthusiasm, this sense of urgency from the front, and then the linebackers peeling off. There we go.
Second-year guy Brandon Doyle is coming in there, number 54, getting a shot on hitting that hooker there. Another guy's flying to the football, and that was just a four-man rush. A nice job. And you see number black jerseys looking for that football. And the Falcons come up with it. It's something they didn't do well last year. They were -6 in the turnover differential. They need more of that to happen this season.
Josh Woods was the one who forced the fumble.
Looks like a run.
In motion is Sills on first down. Hand off to Dotson. Nice run here on first. Takes it up to the 38-yard line. Keith Cooper with the tackle.
Like to see the offense get their feet under them a little bit. You know, first preseason game, a lot of these guys out there playing in the NFL for the first time. It's a little bit easier, I think, for the defense, right? I mean, they're just letting loose going. And we saw Stick get pressured a couple of times on that first drive. You think after a turnover, maybe take a shot, but nah, coaches say, let's just get things settled here, operate our offense.
What you just said is a great point. If this were the regular season, the likelihood is on that first play, they're taking a shot. Instead, a handoff here again. Able to get outside as Dotson. We've got a flag thrown in the area of holding.
Yeah, they may get former Gator there, Felipe Franks on the edge, trying to seal the edge at the tight end spot.
Offense number 69. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
That'll be against Jack Nelson.
Yeah. Jack Nelson, the guy they drafted this year. You see him on the right side right there. And as soon as he tries to pull away, you can see it on the edge there, holding on to him. You got to let him go, Jack. Drafted him out of Wisconsin in the 7th round. Now they know we're going to see a lot of. He played a bunch of football for Wisconsin, a big, physical, tough player. Raheem says he's a downhill blocker. That time got a little bit too much of the shoulder pads that I know Coy would like. Huh?
Yeah, we kind of see that sometimes, though, right? I mean, you know, Nelson gave up a pressure off the right edge on that first drive, and now he's trying to maybe do too much. He'll get settled down here, and as you mentioned, Shock, they love his potential. He can really bully some people up there on that line.
And we talk about the line. How about the starting line is not dressed for this game? So you're looking at guys who maybe come in, be the 6th, 7th lineman to help provide depth.
And one guy is the center, Joe Von Gwyn, number 52, a guy who can play center and guard. Pay attention to him tonight.
Stick across the middle, complete to Dylan Drummond. And Drummond takes it to the 44-yard line. Dylan Drummond is a guy who he's opened some eyes in camp.
And I was down on the sideline before the game talking to Ike Hilliard, the wide receiver coach, and he's going through all these different receivers. And he said Drummond is a guy that's really made it interesting for the receiver corps. He's made a lot of plays in camp, has really good size, a guy that they really like when he came to camp, 6 foot 190. First year out of Eastern Michigan, but he's a guy that, you know, he was on practice squad a little bit last year. But this is a guy that Ike Hilliard says, hey, be on alert. He can make some plays.
3rd and 13. If you don't get a first down, can you get yourselves in field goal territory for Craig? Stick over the middle. It's once again Drummond. And he makes the catch down to the 39-yard line, picks up 5. And we might see our first look at Lenny Craig, who, by the way, he was making field goals in warm-ups of 63 yards.
Pretty close to it there.
So they bring on the rookie out of Germany. Bradley Pinion will hold. Lenny Craig, he's going to be the kicker for this game. This will be a 57-yard attempt. So his first attempt in the NFL, 57 yards. You want to open some eyes, you make this. Got it with room to spare.
That'd have been good from 77. My goodness.
Hello, Lenny Craig.
You hear that boom?
Kickoff, and this will be fielded by Craig Reynolds. Reynolds from the 12. A good return, and the flag comes flying in from the backfield as he takes it across the 35 to the 37. We'll wait to hear the call here from Sean Hockley. That toss was like mid-season for him.
I mean, that was strong.
Palpable sense of excitement. And you know, it's different than in years past where they were fired up over one particular key addition. Now it's because they think all the pieces have fallen into place to make a deep run into the postseason. A plethora of riches, as a matter of fact, especially for defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich. I talked to him before the game, and look, he is really struggling. Who runs that interior 3 technique? And then who plays safety opposite Jesse Bates? Fuller, Watts, Helms, they all bring such unique things to this battle. Helms, though, back from that ankle injury, he has been so impressive. Ulbrich told me he's going to have a spot, even if it's not as a starter, somewhere on this defense because he's just so physical and tough this season.
Guys, that's awesome to hear. The fact that they're like, you know what, no matter what, he's going to be on this team. We need him.
And we saw that last preseason, right? The guy was everywhere, showing up. It was so unfortunate to see him get injured. But he anticipates, he breaks quickly on the throws. And one thing I want to point out right now, Shaka and I noticed we've got the 2 first-rounders on the field.
On the second down, the pass is complete out to Tom Kennedy. And making that hit was Josh Woods. Woods was the guy who forced the fumble on the previous possession.
Flying to the football is something you see already. That's one thing that Ulbrich has talked about with this defense is we want to be aggressive. We want to dictate to the offense what we want. When you got a lot of guys, a lot of pieces like Woods, like Helms who can fly around, and oh yeah, those 2 first-rounders, you see them, the bookends on the outside right here. Pierce and Jalen Walker both on the field at the same time. See what these guys are made of here early in their first couple drives here in the National Football League.
3rd and 10, Hooker in the shotgun. Forced out of the pocket, on the run, trying to run for the first down. He will get it. And eventually he is forced out of bounds. DeMarco Helms finally forces him out after a 22-yard pickup.
We'll see this is right at Pierce there to his edge, and he kind of gets his feet tangled up and falls down. There goes your contain. Smart quarterback there, seeing the opportunity to build a game and how excited he is about having these 2 first-rounders, James Pierce and Jalen Walker. And he said, I cannot wait to see them go. He said, we have a little wager going on. Which one of them is going to be the first one to get home tonight? Oh, he said we might not have to wait long.
First down play action. Hooker steps up, throws across the middle. There was some contact. No flag as the intended receiver was Isaac Tesla.
Good coverage on the back end from Natron Books coming 35 there. He's a guy that's been really fighting and competing on the outside there. It's a big battle in that secondary for that other corner spot. Obviously, they signed Mike Hughes back, but Natron Books is a guy who has made a lot of flashy plays in camp already with some of the, let's go with Drake London every day, Darnell Mooney, you know, all the guys that really can make you look bad, but he's held his own. There's Jalen Walker there. You see the jersey already torn up a little bit, trying to get around that corner.
James Pierce Jr. went off for this play. 2nd down and 10. Hooker. Oh, there's a big hit, knocks the ball loose. We've got plenty of flags. It was DeMarco Helms who laid the hit. Craig Reynolds, the intended receiver. And we're going to have to wait to see exactly what this is. There's 2 flags on the play.
Coach, I think you may get some sort of pass interference because he came really clean. That's usually you see a big play from receivers to get him free. And you see Helms talking a lot of trash at that Detroit sideline.
That looked like a clean hit.
Led with his shoulder.
Look at his forearm. This is the big hits, the knockbacks, the body blows that this guy will bring to the table. We saw him doing it last preseason. There's a reason he's nicknamed Hitman Helms. Coach says he has a great mindset. He's fast. He can get to the ball. We saw that right there. DeMarco says he wants to show he's healthy and get out there and continue to make big plays, impact plays for your defense.
You see that back end battle. He brought George Fuller in for a 1-year deal. We see what the
foul by both teams on the play. Pass interference. Offense number 18. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness number 27. 23. This penalty's offset. Replay 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that call. I thought he did a good job with his shoulder and forearm.
When you have an offensive player saying, then you know It was a very questionable call. That's an incredible play. What more do you teach? He didn't hit to the head or neck area. He didn't lead with his head. I mean, this is a perfect hit right to the chest, knocking the ball loose. I mean, this...
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Coaches are going to be just fine with that. You can see Coach Morris saying, let's move on, fellas. Keep it up. Play just like that.
2nd and 10. Jabari Small takes the handoff. And he'll take the ball up to the 45-yard line. Picks up 6, so 3rd and 4 coming up. Going back to that hit by Helms, in real time, it looks bad.
Yeah.
Right? The head snaps back of the offensive player. You think there's something wrong. When we see the replay, though, you see it was the clean hit.
Shoulder, forearm, all that. And one thing Coach Ross said, we got to slow DeMarco down in practice sometimes. This guy is always going fast. He wants to hit people. Last season, during preseason, during camp, he almost did one of his own teammates like that. He said, we got to figure out how to slow this guy down because he has a motor about him. Big 3rd down here. Can those pass rushers get home?
Pressure coming over the middle. The pass is tipped, incomplete. Another big hit by Helms. That time, he could have had a play on the ball, but he was looking to make the hit. Jackson Meeks with the drop.
I don't think he wants any part of the football. He wants all man. As you can see the last 2 plays, he laughing like, you got a little scared there. Maybe a little alligator horns, but
They went a little man-free coverage there, man coverage underneath, and when you have a guy like Helms back there roaming as your deep safety, as a receiver, you're going to want to always know exactly where he is, especially as a quarterback, too, not putting your receivers in harm's way.
Jack Fox to punt. D. Alford is back. Fair catch signaled and made at the 13-yard line. Well, we are seeing early on, you don't want to throw in the direction of DeMarco Helms.
Helms of a player he is.
Falcons on top of the Lions. 5:22 to go here in the opening quarter. Justin Kutcher, Coy Wire, DJ Shockley, Jen Hale with you. Nathan Carter now in the backfield. He takes it. You can see he's got some explosive speed. He got tackled, got wrapped up, but he's got some speed. Falcons football is back. Become a season ticket member and unlock access to best-in-class benefits. Limited inventory remains. Don't wait to secure your seats. Nathan Carter, rookie out of Michigan State. Lost a yard on that play. Empty backfield here on 2nd and 11. Easton Stick 4 or 5 so far to start this game for 32 yards.
Got the coverage across the board.
Stick taking the shot down the sideline. That ball is incomplete. Intended for Nathan Carter. The defense nicely done by Grant Stewart.
Don't mind the call at all. You got man coverage across the board. Find your best option, and he has him beat by a yard, and that's a catchable ball. You got to come down with that really good throw by Easton Stick. Hits him in the face.
Was there pass interference there? Did he get to the arm early?
It could have been called. For some reason it was not, but to Stick's credit, he was feeling pressure again, right in his face.
Yep.
Wasn't even able to really step into that throw and still put it in a very catchable spot.
Now 3rd and 11. Play clock down to 1. Just gets it off in time. Stick comes near side. That pass caught by David Sills. Or is that Drummond? That was Drummond actually on the catch. 7-yard completion. So here comes the punt team. Bradley Pinion on to punt.
Good job of separation by Drummond, though. Does a good job at the top of the route, coming flat. Easton Stick throws him down. Just a little bit too much to overcome there after the lost yardage play, but a really good play there from both those guys. It's okay to end on a punt sometimes.
Pinion. 37. Another flag is thrown.
There's Helms showing up on punt team as well. All kinds of yellow on that field right now.
The officials have been busy so far here in this first quarter. Typically that's the case in the preseason. One, they're on heightened alert. Two, the teams aren't as refined.
Sometimes you could argue the officials aren't as refined yet either.
There were 2 fouls by the receiving team on the play, both during the return. Holding, number 43, this penalty is declined. Holding, number 17, this penalty happened during the kick. The 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
You know, I think that speed we've been seeing on defense is showing up on special teams too, forcing a bunch of penalties in that field. Yeah, most of your special teamers are going to be those defenders, defensive backs, and linebackers, and they're showing up. You've got those 2 edge rushers, the first rounders out there on the field at the same time now.
On first down, a handoff to Reynolds, and he gets wrapped up right away in the backfield by Taquan Graham as we go down to Jen.
Kutch standing behind Michael Penix Jr. He's watching, cheering on his teammates, wearing the headphones, listening to all the calls. He's excited to get going. He's got a new starting center this season, and it's going to be a unique lefty-to-lefty connection in the NFL. Penix was telling me pregame, the ball placement when the ball gets snapped is different. Right-handed centers, the ball ended up more in his palm. With Ryan Neutral, it's ending up with the nose in his fingertips. He's got a better grip. Can't wait to see that on display when the starters take the field.
That's some great detail right there and some good defense right here by this Falcons team. It's Rook
That's a really good detail, what Jim just talked about, because as a quarterback, the best way to receive the football, the best way you want it, is right in the grip where you can get right away. You see what he was able to do last season. He wants to upgrade this completion percentage. He wants this right here to be a lot higher than it was last year. But this is a guy who, DJ Williams, who I talked to before the game, the quarterback's coach, said this guy's recall is so good. He's made to play this position.
On 3rd and 11, Hooker dumps it off. There's the defense swarming to make the play. A 4-yard pickup. It's Josh Woods again. So we've called Woods' name now a few times. A couple of tackles and a forced fumble here in this first quarter.
Yeah, a guy who's flying around for you. You know linebacker too late to get to it. He's been that guy.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Holbrook has to be extremely excited with the first few drives that he's seen his new look defense out there. They look fast. They're playing discipline, great coverage on the back end there, coming up and making an easy tackle on a 3rd and long. That's exactly what you want to see.
Another flag is thrown. D'Alford on the return. A nice return. But we'll have to wait and see what this flag is for. And it looks like it's going to be a block in the back. A 41-yard punt, 19-yard return.
During the kick, personal foul, illegal blindside block, return team number 38. It's half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick, first down.
So that's the second personal foul against the Falcons in this quarter. One that we all agreed should not have been one. And now this on special teams.
Small things that you look back on the film and say, we have things we can work on and things you can clean up. And obviously not just terrible penalties that you don't want, but you don't want those penalties that's going to take you back and set you back. And right now you put your offense in a bad position here inside the 20-yard line.
Overall, as preseason games usually seem to go, we've had some penalties, but maybe not all that many compared to what is typical.
Way to jinx it. Way to jinx it, Coywater. First down, play action. Pass dumped off. There's that guy again. Drummond has been busy in this first quarter.
And here's another thing I like by offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. Corey, you talked about it. Last couple drives, he been getting some pressure. Like guys getting in his face. First play of this series, they get him on the edge, they get him outside, give him a clean sight to throw the football and gets it to Drummond. Now you're ahead of the chains instead of staying behind it, or now it's 2nd and 11. Now you can play from in front of the chains. That helps you.
Sean Corbin in the backfield here on 2nd and 7. Handoff is to Corbin up the middle. Able to take it across the 20 to the 21.
There's Zach Robinson right there in the middle of your screen here in his 2nd year as the offensive coordinator for the Falcons. And obviously everybody knows what happens last year with Kirk Cousins, and everybody talks about the offense not looking the way you wanted to look. Now you get Michael Penix Jr. And just from what you've seen in training camp, this is going to be a downfield attacking style of offense with so many weapons on the outside to see what the Zach Robinson offense can really look like.
On 3rd and 2. Over the middle, incomplete, intended for Chris Blair. One of those wide receivers who stood out. That's one of the battles that we'll have throughout the year, or throughout this preseason, that wide receiver position. Bradley Pinion on to punt. Tom Kennedy is back, standing at his own 27-yard line. Taken to the 32. Great coverage. Open field tackle there on special teams. Billy Bowman Jr. A 47-yard punt, and there was Bowman.
Good.
You can make a name for yourself on special teams. Billy Bowman Jr., a rookie, trying to figure out where he fits in, just made that play on special teams.
Best feeling in the world. Never played an NFL game before, and you go out and make a play like that, that turns heads.
On 1st down, the handoff to Greg Reynolds. Reynolds spins. He gets tackled by Jordan Fuller after a pickup of 7. Fuller a little slow to get up. That's actually number 23, DeMarco Helms as well. Well, that is the end of the first quarter, with the Falcons leading 3-0. We'll be back after this short time. 2nd down and 4. Handoff, Reynolds, patience. And Reynolds has the 1st down as he's able to get up to the 47-yard line. Greg Reynolds, 6th year. Fits down. You're all stomping.
Old Pennsylvania boy. He's one of the strongest guys on their team. That's why when you saw Helms knocking him back earlier, is even more impressive. But Billy Bowman, the rookie in there, the draft pick, came up and got shot up into the backfield, made him slow his roll a little bit. Good team defensive play right there.
1st and 10 now from the 47. Handoff again. Pickup of 2 to the 49 for Reynolds.
Boy, you see Jalen Walker in there on that play again, and Woods as well. But one guy you got to pay attention to, D'Angelo Malone, number 51. Last year, he was more of a guy that was on the edge, that kind of came off the corner a little bit and put his hand in the dirt. But he does a good job there of coming up, and now he's playing off the ball. You see Jalen Walker playing the east side, does a good job of just, he gets kind of pancake at the end there, but he does a good job of holding that point and allowing the other guys to come make the play.
2nd and 8. Hooker takes the pass, and he completes that one for a 1st down to Jackson Meeks, the rookie out of Syracuse. Josh Woods there for the tackle, but 2nd 1st down on this drive. By the way, do either of you guys do a double take when you see number 11 for the Falcons? That's on defense.
It was a little weird. I remember when he first got here, I asked him what number he's going to wear, obviously knowing he wore number 11 at Georgia. He kind of winked at me, so I kind of had a feeling he was going to bring the number 11 back.
Pass to the near side, and Tom Kennedy down the sideline.
As a corner there, you want to make sure that you push everything back to your teammates, right? You don't want to lose contain and make it a long way to go for all the pursuit. One of those little things, they'll go back on field and get it squared away. Technique, alignment, assignment, and technique. Those are the 3 things that you want to focus on, especially as a young guy trying to prove you're worthy, trustworthy of making a team.
Best drive of the game so far for the Lions. 1st down, the handoff to Jabari Small. He gets brought down. Looked like getting a hand in there was D'Angelo Malone.
Boy, going back to what you just talked about, you talked about the corner not being delivered. That's Kobe Bryant. Everybody has heard that name before, but that's the corner out of Kansas, number 37. A guy they were really high on. Didn't expect him to be there. They thought he'd probably get drafted. They were really excited to have him in his organization, but did a poor job there keeping contained on the outside.
2nd and 8, play action. Setting up the screen to the outside to the tight end, Shane Zylstra. He gets shoved out by D'Angelo Malone again, which will bring up 3rd and about 6.
Talked to Jeff Holbrook, the defensive coordinator, before the game. He talked about he wants to unleash all these guys and show everybody what this defense is going to look like. But he said, not tonight, not this preseason. We're going to keep it pretty vanilla. But you still want to see guys maybe get home with a 4-man rush. But you can see you got the mugged up 8 gaps here. Give them a different look. See if we can get some pressure here on 3rd and 6.
8th play of the drive for the Lions. Pressure is coming. Hooker escapes the pressure, has a block. And now he'll be taken down at the 20, shy of the first down marker. It's Josh Woods again. And we've got a player down for Detroit.
See Jeff Albrecht right there to the right of Raheem Morris. His 2nd stint here with the Atlanta Falcons.
That player down is Tristan Colon, 3rd string center for this Lions team.
We'll hope he is all right. One of the main keys of any preseason game is stay healthy, right?
4th down coming up. We'll have an update on Colon when we come back. Low snap for Hooker. Completes the pass. It's Isaac Tesla again, and he will have the first down. Picks up 7.
Really good route. I mean, you got to give the guy credit. The bottom of your screen out here. Good job playing man coverage, but he beats him to the inside. A bigger body guy in Tesla, and just beat Natron Brooks there to the football. They need the 3 yards. Easy conversion there for the Lions.
So 1st and 10 now. Ball in 13. This drive continues. They got more yards on this drive than they had the entire first quarter. Toss out to Small. Tries to get outside. Nicely done chasing him down. Lamar Jackson, a different Lamar Jackson, not the MVP. But he's got some good speed too.
No doubt about it.
You can see the pursuit there. You have guys just shooting gaps. I talked to Jerry Gray, assistant head coach here before the game, and what he loves about it is we've seen in years past the 2-gap system, the 3-4 look. It's now 1 man, 1 gap. You just hit it and get it and let the pursuit take over. Let that offense feel that speed, feel that pressure. You can play fast as a defender when you have just 1 gap.
2nd and 8. Hooker, pressure coming, fumble, ball loose, recovered by Atlanta. Taquan Graham with the fumble recovery, and that is huge. And McCady knocked it free. Graham with a recovery. 2nd forced fumble and fumble recovery for the Falcons defense here tonight. As the Falcons take over at their own 17. First down is the handoff. Nowhere to go for Dotson. Let's take a look at our first quarter highlights presented by AT&T. Guys, this is what you want to see.
Yeah, incredible pursuit here. Brandon Dorless, and then the forced fumble by Josh Woods. D. Alford coming in to swoop it up, and how about the hit of the day? Bam! To Marco Helms, back from injury, proving that he's hungry for that starting spot beside Jake Bates back there in his secondary. Coach Morris, first one over there to show him some love on the sideline.
Look at defensive back showing another defensive back love. Of course he is.
On 2nd and 11. Taking the shot down the field in a double coverage, and it's incomplete. Intended for Jesse Matthews. 2nd-year player out of San Diego State. 3rd and 11 upcoming. There is a flag, though, in the backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 99. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That's against Broderick Martin. So that's a first down, a big break right there for the Falcons here with 8:54 to go in the first half.
Yeah, you'll take that because obviously you just mentioned he's got the 3rd and 11 behind the chains, and as he lets this football go, gets him up by the helmet. They're going to call that every time to get around that face mask. Bails the Falcons out here. offense needs to get something going here for real.
You can see the line, offensive line, has settled down a bit in their pass pro, giving Stick some time to throw the ball there, and they're pushing that ball upfield. A lot of deep crossers.
Stick. A crossing route to Drummond, and Drummond is across midfield, run out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Dylan Drummond, another catch for him. This goes for 24.
Love the patience. Had a little person in his face right there, but Stick not able to step into it. But throwing into that open window and Drummond coming across. Detroit was in just a cover 3 single high. There's plenty of zones within that defense. And Stick does a really good job of just laying it into that hole. That's one of those kind of throws you see. You got a layer of throw right over the linebacker, right into that voided zone. Does a good job of another big-time completion. You just talked about it, Cord. Crossing routes, pushing the football down the field. Offensive line gave him a little time. Good conversion.
We have a run here now.
It is a run, and a run that's going nowhere. We're going to lose some on that. A nice defensive play. A guy who's used to defensive plays is standing by right now with Jen Hale.
Yeah, you could say he is definitely a staple of this defense, Coach. Caden Ellis, thanks so much for spending a little time with us. First of all, put your analyst hat on. 2 takeaways so far by your side of the ball. What do you like about this defense?
Oh, I love that. You know, we keep talking, preaching that the ball is oxygen, and that's something that Olbrich has brought with him, and he's been talking to us about day in and day out. It's all over the walls, every meeting room, and so having our defense start like this, it's awesome.
What does this Olbrich system look like? What can fans expect week 1?
It's so aggressive. It's so aggressive, and I think that's what's so awesome about it. You're seeing it right now. You know, these guys are going out, they're playing fast, they're playing physical, and they're hunting that ball, and it's working so far.
Any of these camp battles that you're especially watching?
You know, I respect everybody's battle that they're going through right now, whether it's a small one or a big one. But I'll tell you what, I love the issue that we have of a lot of really good safeties on the field right now. And obviously you've already seen DeMarco. That was not an illegal hit. You've already seen him go out and make some plays. I saw Fuller almost knocked out a punch out. These guys are battling. Xavier's been amazing. So to have too many good safeties that are awesome and amazing players is a great problem to have.
Absolutely, and Coy Wire agrees with you as well. All right, you came here as a free agent in 2023. Established yourself, green dot leader on the field. Now no Grady Jarrett, so wow, are you ever going to have to step up? Take us inside the world of Caden Ellis. What have you worked on, and what type of responsibility will you shoulder this season?
You know, leadership is always something I think is earned, never given. You know, people have talked to me about it, my teammates, I know they respect me, and I respect every single one of them. Great, such a special individual. And you know what, losing him is losing a big piece of leadership. So at the end of the day, I think collectively we got to step up. I know I'm ready to do my part. I know I'm ready to be here for my teammates, to love on them and lead in any way, shape, and form I can. And you know what, we'll see what the guys choose. But at the end of the day, it's earned, and I just want to show up every day for them.
Caden, we always love visiting with you. Thanks for all your insight and good luck this season.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. God bless.
Guys.
What a great job by Caden Ellis, and he was spot on. That was not an illegal hit.
We all knew that. Come on.
Bradley Pinion is on to punt. This is what we're talking about. He said it. You guys said it right away, too.
You know, as an offensive guy, to say a defensive guy didn't do anything wrong goes a long way for us.
Then you know it was a wrong call. That's right. Great job by Jen Hale there. Really showed Caden Ellis's character. I mean, that's the type of guy you want as your leader. When you have a guy like that in your locker room, it makes you play a little bit harder and do things the right way.
Pinion trying to pin this Lions team deep. And this is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. 5.5 to go here in the first half. Still 3-0 Falcons leading the Lions. .5:31 to go here in this first half. New quarterback in for Detroit is Kyle Allen. Taking over at his own 20. First play to hand off to Jabari Small. Small gets tripped up at the 23-yard line. Provide youth sports teams the opportunity to be on the field pre or post game, or simply entertain guests in our all-inclusive club spaces. Learn more about our group hospitality packages. You guys have talked about the excitement surrounding this team at Flowery Branch. People going to practice. Nice crowd on hand here for week 1 of the preseason. 2nd down and 7. Allen on the far side completes the pass to Tom Kennedy. As Kennedy quickly gets checked by Lamar Jackson. And we do have a flag, and this is going against Detroit.
Holding, offense number 65. 10-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
That's against Kingsley Igwakin. Igwakin, who was the backup center, came in when Tristan Colon got injured.
Yeah, he just pulled this guy to the ground. I mean, it was nothing clear about that. Didn't even try to block him, just grabbed him, just yanked him to the ground. Easy call for the referee on the back end.
Kentavia Street went down to the street.
But Coach, talking about the fans, the excitement, the first 3 days of training camp, they had over 15,000 fans.
That's unbelievable.
Come out to training camp out in Flowery Branch. So the excitement was there. Fans were electric. They were on that hill. It was 142 degrees, but it was still out there.
On 2nd and 17, the deep ball down the field completes. Jackson Meeks still free. And Jackson Meeks down to the 18. Lamar Jackson finally brings him down. That is a 68-yard completion from Kyle Allen to the rookie Jackson Meeks out of Syracuse.
Yeah, Falcons caught in cover 4, which means they had 2 guys playing a quarter of the field, outside leverage by Lamar Jackson. And look at him just crease both guys here. And a really well-thrown football away from the cornerback by Kyle Allen, and Meeks does rest with a big-time catch and run after the catch as well.
How about the play by Meeks to avoid the back judge as well? Now Allen, the tuck, run with it. To the outside, he's going to run out, scamper out after a pickup of 8. So Kyle Allen, who comes in for Hendon Hooker with that huge completion. And that was on 2nd and 17.
Yeah, you want to see how your young defenders respond now, right? Last time they were in the same position, and you got the strip forced fumble, you got the ball back, still holding the Lions scoreless here, and you get a couple deep passes at you, you're winded a bit, got some hands on their hips. Who's going to rise up and go make a play to knock them back a bit?
Zach Horton lined up at fullback, motions out. Hand off to Small, and Small gets wrapped up as he gets to the 11-yard line. Natron Brooks. So this will bring up 3rd and 2. And the way that we have seen Dan Campbell, you kind of figure this is 2-down territory right now.
Yeah, it's preseason. You want to see what your offense can do. I mean, it's a chip shot field goal. You're not having a field goal or a kicker controversy. This is all about trying to get these guys extra reps in real game action, and I'm sure Raheem Morris would love to see it as well, but he would love for them to be able to get off the field right now too.
Greg Reynolds now in the backfield here on 3rd and 2. Allen lofting one to the end zone. That one is caught. Touchdown, Teslaw. 11-yard touchdown pass from Kyle Allen to Isaac Teslaw.
Tesla did a great job of getting separation there. D'Alford kind of getting caught up in the traffic a bit, and you got to have those eyes wide, and you know if you're going to have a switch off, you can't get caught up down in the wash. Not able to react in time.
Boy, it looks like part of the communication was a little off too, because you see he had a little false step there, and that's gave him the leverage to get on the corner. Is that something that you got to talk about before the play?
That's a pre-snap call, so you could be right. You know, I don't want to throw D'Alford under the bus there, but it could have been a communication issue.
Bates on for the extra points, and it's now 7-3. Lions leading the Falcons here with 2:18 to go. Teslaw, the rookie out of Arkansas, with that touchdown reception. Time now for Winning in the Trenches, presented by Georgia Power. It's the defense, guys, what we've seen.
Yeah, TQ Graham winning that one-on-one battle, talking about getting up north and playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. TQ Graham, another guy fighting for his spot on this defensive line. Arnold Ebiketie coming around the edge, beating his guy one-on-one. You see Jay Pierce pushing the pocket as well. His defensive line, they've done it all with just 4 guys rushing the passer. This is what an ideal front would look like for Jeff Ulbrich, who you see right there going through the film, watching over guys. When we see some of these guys up front in this position battle, Contagious Street, who we've already seen, Morgan Fox, who played, T.Q. Graham, we had a tackle for loss. This is a deep defensive front now. There are a lot of guys vying for a couple spots in there. As we talked about, no Grady Jarrett anymore. Who's going to be that next guy that takes that next step? Is it a Brandon Dorless? Is it a Ruka Roro? Obviously, Onyemata is a seasoned veteran. But you got a lot of depth inside that trench here.
Yeah, and you see that energy. You feel that tempo and that pace that we haven't really seen from the defense here. And this new scheme brought in by Jeff Ulbrich, it's reflective of who he is as a person and was as a player. I used to hate playing against this guy. He had a mohawk. He was one of those guys when you're playing on special teams, the first guy you put up, this is the one we need to be aware of. It was that guy right there. And he's bringing that intensity and that passion. And his players seem to be mirroring his philosophy, which is go get it now. And it's fun to watch.
Well, they love the community. They're all about the community. And the rookies are learning that firsthand about what it means to be an Atlanta Falcon, but also to give back to the community. That's going to give so much to you.
It's the type of organization where you don't see your community work for some of the guys on the team as something you have to do. Here, it just feels like I get to do this. You see those smiles on those kids' faces, and they just really set you up for success to make an impact on lives. And I know we have a high school football team here tonight. We have a flag football team here being highlighted. Can't wait to watch halftime. Lots of touchdowns, we hope.
It'll be Jake Bates to kick off. Elijah Dotson and Tron Brooks are back to receive. This will be Brooks taking it down the sideline as he scampers out shy of the 35-yard line. So this Falcons team, guys, we know they're excited, but this is just further validating the excitement. Look at the primetime games already the Falcons are scheduled for this year.
We talked about the excitement. We talked about people wanting to see them, not just here in Atlanta, but on a national scale. That's a Monday night game, Sunday night, Thursday night. They're going to be in prime time because people saw what happened at the end of the season last year. They're going to score a lot of points, and now you got a defense that's doing the same thing, looking like the offense can match.
Easton Stick is 9 of 12. Of those 9 completions, 7 are to Drummond. And this time, he spreads it out to Joshua Simon, tight end, rookie out of South Carolina.
Great opportunity here, 2-minute drive to see what this offense can do. See Stick go through the process.
Exactly 2-minute drive, right?
Exactly.
It's a 2-minute warning. 7 of 3. Lions leading the Falcons here in the second quarter. Corbett in the backfield. Pressure coming. Stick gets rid of it. To the sideline. Jump ball. And that's hauled in. Chris Blair goes up to get it.
How about that ball placement?
Love it. Love it. They go blitz like you just mentioned. You get 4 verticals, find your best matchup. And Chris Blair uses his body, uses his size to go up and get him. Boy, you mentioned it. Put it in a great place for him to go get the football.
Easton Stick is on fire right now. He's 11 of 14. You can't put that ball in a better place. He's poised out there. He's getting pressured at time. Doesn't matter. He's running this offense very well.
It's a 30-yard completion. This opens up the playbook as they pass to Drummond again. And this kid Drummond, Dylan Drummond, out of Eastern Michigan. They say they love what they've seen out of him so far in camp. He's got 8 catches in the first half.
You know how many targets he got?
8.
8. So you're telling he's getting the football and he's making sure he do something with it, but Drummond's making the name.
2nd and 4. Pass caught again by Blair. He gets the first down. Tackled at the 17-yard line. 13-yard completion. The clock continues to move. 50 seconds. Falcons have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Lofted pass to the tight end, Simon. And he's out of bounds after picking up about 4 yards.
Stick is absolutely on fire right now. He knows exactly where to put that ball. He knows who's going to likely win their matchup when it's man-to-man. You have to be really impressed if you're Zach Robinson watching this happen. And this is an important player on this team, right? Because we have Kirk Cousins as a backup right now, but as soon as a player gets injured on another contender, Kirk Cousins might be getting the call to get traded, right? So Easton Stick proving that he's a viable option as a backup quarterback in Atlanta.
On 2nd and 6, Stick to the end zone. There's a hold. It doesn't matter. Touchdown, Chris Blair, 13 yards.
Defense number 36. Extends the time. He's open to play. The touchdown.
Great job of Stick there, looking off the center field safety, coming back and putting that ball, dropping it in the bucket shot.
But here's where he's wanted. He's wanted at the line of scrimmage. They went press man, and he beat him off the line of scrimmage, got him on his hip, and then you mentioned a unbelievable, just great throw on the other side. And we talk about the wide receiver battle. I think we know who the top 4 guys are, but you talk about that 5th and 6th receiver. Roman's made a name for himself today. Chris Blair, we can see 2 really nice catches to end this drive. And Stick, how about him? Put the ball in the places it needs to be and go get 6.
Lenny Craig on for the extra point. And the Falcons take the lead, 10-7 here in the first half.
That's where a quarterback is most comfortable. And it looked like Easton Stick was even more comfortable in that moment, throwing it all over the yard, and it showed.
Lenny Craig making sure this one is going to be returned. It's taken by Reynolds, has to backtrack to get it. Good coverage there on special teams. Well, tickets for the Georgia Tech football taking place at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this year went on sale to the general public today at Ticketmaster. Hurry and get those before that game sells out. You see clean, old-fashioned hate.
Yeah.
It's like what we have here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, wait, no, I love you guys. What am I talking about?
Shock, you know all about that rivalry, one of the best in all of college sports. What's it like?
It's an unbelievable game. Obviously, 2 schools in-state rivals is always fun, but to play it right here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, that's going to be awesome.
Kyle Allen, 30 seconds left. All 3 timeouts remaining. Steps up, loses the ball, has to cover up and does. Another forced fumble. This time it's recovered by the Lions.
Brandon Dorless again showing up, his hustle, his pursuit. Look at this time, he's got a little bull rush going, he swims, he's pulling out.
Well, those are 1st or 2nd year guys on that D-line. Look out.
What a way to respond. The offense, after they just got scored on, comes back.
This is taken at the 12. There's Jabari Small on the return. So we talk about highlights, but I don't know if there's a better highlight than this. In training camp, oh no, oh no. Down goes Morris, down goes Morris.
So much going on here. Drake London sees Coach Morris. The head coach lined up across from him. Didn't even see if he's okay. He just continued running his route.
But the feet's going up in the air for me is what got it.
It's got to be the shoes.
Yeah, it's got to be the shoes, but Jordan would not approve of this right here. And you're talking about, well, he said it was pass interference. He extended his arms.
He said offensive pass interference.
Yes.
Some say it was elder abuse on the part of Drake London. Well, let's see how they all measure up. Was this really a fair battle after all?
Was this like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson?
Yeah, I mean, but look at the tape. I think we know why this battle was won on the left side of the screen.
We need the little Michael Jordan crying face over Coach Morris there. He definitely took the L in that matchup. Yeah. But maybe we'll see a round 2.
Look at Drake. Drake's still talking about it. He's still laughing about it.
2nd down and 6 here for the Lions. Allen pressured, and Allen goes down. And it looks like it was Josh Woods in there.
Now you're getting down to some of your 3rd and 4th string players, and you're still seeing that scheme of Jeff Albrecht shine through. Guys lining up with one gap responsibility, digging their feet in the dirt, getting off like a track star, and putting pressure on the quarterback. They're coming from both edges on that play.
That was Khalid Kareem who brought him down, so it sets up a 3rd and 9.
Coverage across the board.
Allen over the middle. We've got flags in the backfield. The pass is complete to Ronnie Bell. He's got a first down. It's a pickup of 14. Let's see what these flags
Might
are.
be roughing the passer.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 51 defense. It's a 15-yard penalty we added to the end of the play, first down.
It's against D'Angelo Malone.
Falcons decided to bring a little bit of pressure here off the edge, and here you see collapse the pocket right at the end. Just similar we saw last time where you get to the head area, they're going to call that every time, and Malone just trying to finish the play, but unfortunately you can get a big 15-yarder for that. Now you get that and the conversion. Now Detroit moves into Falcon territory.
I like Coach Morris getting over there, coaching them up right away. Here's what you did. Here's what you could have done. Getting D'Angelo Malone right. He's a heck of a player.
So now, 1st and 10 from the 42 of the Falcons. Jacob Sailors in the backfield for the Lions. Hand off to Sailors, spins, and he gets turned backwards after getting to the 41. Will pick up a yard.
That was a hard yard right there. Great job by the defensive line, anchoring down. Linebackers coming downhill.
Cale London was the one to make the stop.
Got Newt Kubitz in there calling the huddle. He has some younger guys in front of him. He's having to get them lined up a bit before he gets to his own responsibility.
Second down, play action. Pressure coming off the edge. Allen able to get away and finally chased out of bounds. It's Khalid Kareem again able to chase him down. Could have been a big pickup. Instead, Kareem able to run and force him out.
Yeah, Natron Brooks going to look back and wish he had that one back again. Almost had Kyle in his grasp. Would have been a huge yardage loss here. But now you give it a once before you come right off the edge and tries to retrace those steps and get it. And Kyle Allen makes a miss there. Now brings up a manageable 3rd down here for Detroit. See the Falcons play man coverage like they did last time.
3rd and 7. Allen taking the shot down the sideline, overthrows the intended receiver, Malik Taylor. 4th down coming up. They're going to try for a field goal. Jake Bates is coming on. We saw earlier today a 57-yarder from Craig. This would be a 57-yarder from Bates to tie the game at 10. From 57 yards, that is virtually perfect. Bend but don't break. That's the defense just did. We're tied up at 10. That defense, why?
Yeah, you know, we knew going into this offseason we wanted to increase that pressure and make sure we could get pressure and truly affect the quarterback. And we brought in a great defensive staff with Jeff Olbrich and Nate Ollie, the new coaches, along with some coaches that came over, and we want to really attack this thing. And when you have a chance to get 2 pressure players like that in the first round, and then to be able to bring in some ball hawks in the secondary, so that's exciting.
We've seen some of those pressure players performing tonight. We've seen that scheme come to life, the speed, the intensity. We have some position battles on the defensive side of the ball. One of them, as a former safety, I love to say, is at that starting safety alongside Bates. What are you seeing tonight from a guy like DeMarco Helms?
Yeah, you know, love DeMarco and everything that DeMarco is, and he's one of those guys that you really have to hold back during practice. Like, Raheem has to go grab him and say, hey, look, this is stud, but don't take him to the ground. But he's one of those guys that he's always going. He's a tone setter. And so you get in the game and you're like, okay, DeMarco, now you can go. It's real football, tackle to the ground, and you see what he does when he's out there. But love him so much because the same intensity he brings to defense, he brings that on special teams too. He's a tone setter.
Definitely was unleashed. Terry, take us kind of behind the curtains of what it's like for you when you're watching these preseason games, the things that you're looking for, guys that as we get a big-time play here, Emory Jones not in the ball game, but as the GM and you're watching this from the perspective of we're going to have to make some really big decisions down the line. What are some of the things you look for when you're watching these games?
Yeah, so we talk about these position battles. That's one of them. Nash just making a play like that. He's been making a lot of plays throughout practice. He's really come alive these last several practices. You see Blair at the end of that half and him making those plays. And this 5th and 6th receiver, that's a critical position battle, just like we talk about safety, like we talk about running back, and yet one of the big things is going to be the kicking game. And so they can make plays offensively, but now what are you going to do in the kicking game? And because to get a jersey on game day, to get on that 48, you got to be able to affect and play on 4th down, so it's critical to watch that.
So one thing that we've noticed is with the competition battle, the 5th, 6th receiver in that secondary, in the safety position, we might see someone make a lot of catches like we've seen so far in this game. But how does a player make an impact on you, catch your eye, if it's not showing up in the box score?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, you know, we're with these guys 24/7, right? So we know the guys in the meeting rooms that are what they're doing there. We know the guys that are in the weight room. We get to see them in all aspects of everything that they're doing. And then we get to sit down. Tomorrow we'll meet at 11 o'clock. And we'll break down the film with the coaches, and we'll go through all the different assignments. Like you said, the things that outside of just the catches, who's blocking in the run game, who's doing the right things. And so we really get to go through that part of it. So making the plays out here is important, but just knowing all the nuances and details of it is critical.
When you have players, right, as a GM, a guy like Josh Woods tonight showing up, 7, 8 tackles, he's got a tackle for loss, a forced fumble, and they just come to a point where, like, okay, we think we've seen enough of him. Now let's give another guy a chance. Do we hide this type of guy from other teams out there in the league?
So that's a great point, Coy, because one thing that Raheem says is, hey, look, guys, you're competing for this 53, right? But also you're putting out tape for the rest of the league. And our staff does such a great job, and we're watching all the other 31 teams and trying to figure out so we can make sure they're not just competing with this roster, they're competing outside the league as well. So that's a critical thing. But again, you see Nash and the things he's doing out there, and it's fun to watch because that's a carryover from what's been happening in practice. But when we're deciding what we're going to do out there, it's about putting these guys in position. You're not trying to scheme it up to win the game. It doesn't matter. We're trying to get ready for the season. So you're trying to scheme it up to get these guys in position to be in man coverage, to see if they can make those plays in those moments. That's what's most important.
Yeah. Terry, let me ask you about your quarterback. Obviously, Michael Penix Jr., there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of hype. And we saw what he did in that last 3 games of the season, that sample size. But you go out in training camp, and you can see some of the things that just jump off the page about your quarterback. When you look at him, what excites you about letting him go here in year 2?
It's so fun because I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize is the type of athlete he is. I mean, he truly is an explosive athlete. The way he can run around, the way he can make plays with his legs, something you didn't see a lot of at the University of Washington. He was in the pocket coming off those injuries, but now the further he gets away from those, he can really move and make plays. Obviously, he's got unbelievable arm talent, but also the instincts, the way he communicates, and the steadiness and consistency in terms of the way he leads. How about this? I got a text after the draft from Coy. And, you know, I got a lot of cool texts from people after we drafted Mike, people that really know football. And Coy was one of them. He said, great pick, man. So I appreciate that.
He was my favorite quarterback in that draft.
Yes.
You know, we talked a bit about those 2 pressure players you got in the first round, Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr. You also, a little while before that, you brought in a guy like Leonard Floyd. How have you seen him transform that defensive side of the ball for you?
And Floyd's been so awesome. The first play of the scrimmage we had a couple days ago, he picks it off, takes it to the house, but he's just one of those guys. He actually took less money. He wanted to be in Atlanta so bad. He's been wanting to come home. And so it's really cool, and he pulls up in a big pickup truck with, I think, like a 4-wheel in the back of it, and he is just a steady, consistent worker. And to have a guy like that set that example for all these young players, just showing up every day and going to work, it's been really cool because we have that throughout the team with a lot of guys, whether you're talking about Jake Matthews or Chris Lindstrom, so many guys.
That's a missed field goal there by Lenny Craig. He made one from 57, missed that from 53. Yep. He's got plenty of leg. We know that.
Oh, he can blast the ball now. He can blast the ball.
You mind sticking around?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. 10-10 here in the third. Back after this with Terry Fontenot.
Brady has time in the pocket, throws to the far side, and that ball is intercepted.
You knew it was going to be tough coming into Kansas City on a Monday night. I just never saw this one coming.
Obviously, you had a bad take.
Joining us here in the booth as it's 1st and 10 from the 43 for the Lions. Kyle Allen as the quarterback, fakes the pass. And the handoff up the middle. Nice run here by Jacob Sailors, pushing the pile to the 47. Terry, we talked about defense and how you addressed it in the draft. And you addressed it in free agency by going out and signing these guys. What were you thinking when you were looking at signing each of these?
Yeah, everyone you sign, there's a reason. They did a really good job, and we're bringing in these young safeties. So he's another one that can help in that. Divine Diablo, here we go.
Nearly getting to the quarterback. Instead, it's a screen to Jacob Sailors.
Malone was on it.
Yeah, but Divine Diablo, he's one of those. If you look at Jeff Ulbricht's linebackers and what he's done with these former safeties that have length and size and speed and instincts, and Divine Diablo is one of those.
So wait, is he like the modern day Coy Wire?
He's absolutely he is. Absolutely. Now Coy would have got that sack right there. There's no way he would have.
I'll slip you your $20 later, Justin. Thank you for that.
Terry, I'd be remiss to ask you, man, there are a lot of people in this state who were really excited that you drafted a Georgia Bulldog. You talked about Leonard Floyd, obviously Charlie Warner. Was there any pressure there to bring in another Georgia Bulldog? Because I know people were excited when it happened. Do you get called out in the grocery store when people say, Terry, thanks for drafting Georgia guys? What is it like? I know Jalen was an extreme talent, but what's it like to have those guys?
And here's the thing. I mean, those three guys, you talk about Jalen Walker, Charlie Warner, Leonard Floyd. I mean, if your sons grow up to be like those guys, I mean, tough, smart, competitive, obviously tremendous players, tremendous athletes, all those things, but they're bringing that true mantra. And when you think about Georgia and the way Kirby gets those guys going, the way they practice, the way they compete, the way they take care of themselves, the type of teammates they are, and bringing that in, those guys are all multipliers. You know, the way they approach every single day. So Jalen Walker, he missed a few practices with a hamstring, and he's looking at you like he wants to punch you in the face when you're telling him you got to miss a little practice, and it wasn't registering. He doesn't understand, because from when he's a little kid, obviously through Georgia, you don't miss practice, you just fight through it. And we tell him, hey, we're playing the long game. You're going to play 17-plus games. Let us take care of you a little bit. But it doesn't register. Same with a guy like Charlie Warner. Like, those guys just show up and compete. And it's awesome to be able to bring those guys in.
Yeah, there's not a lot of catching those younger guys or newer guys up to speed. They already know the speed when they come from a program like UGA. Now, we have you up here in the booth, and we have to take advantage of your knowledge, your wisdom, your thought process. When you're watching a game, as we are right now, maybe we'll have Justin do the play-by-play, and then take us through, as a GM, what your process is like, who you're watching, what stands out, or thoughts you might have after a play.
Yep.
All right, so we got 2nd and 4 right now. Ball on the 24. Lions marching down the fields. Sailors in the backfield with Kyle Allen. Allen back to pass over the middle, and he completes this one. There is a flag coming in as the pass is caught by Ronnie Bell.
And really early on, the first thing you're looking at, you start at the beginning of the snap, right? And you want to see who knows what they're doing, who's communicating out there, who's getting lined up, who's not taking a lot of time with those things. So you see all the pre-snap stuff. You can see, again, who knows what they're doing. And then you see post-snap who's actually going out there competing, making the plays the right way. So we watch it here, and you get that snap judgment of what's happening right here. You take your notes. And, again, it's cool to get with the coaches, truly break it down, and to be able to know what those guys are supposed to be doing and really assess it.
All right, now you got to call the play with me. So as soon as it happens, you're going to be the end. 1st and 10 from the 12. All right. Handoff up the middle. Nice job covering.
So that's Lamar Jackson. Was that Lamar? Is that 38?
Yeah, that's
there
Lamar.
we go.
Yeah.
Lamar actually. I mean, you talk about looks like he's 6'2". 210 pounds. I mean, he's built in the lab, big corner, but he's played physical today. So seeing him coming up and playing physical, you get excited about that.
Terry, thinking about some of these guys who are playing in the 3rd and 4th quarter, I was one of those guys who played late in the ball game. And for you, these are the tougher decisions to make, because these are the guys on the back end of your roster. How tough is it when you're watching these to make these decisions?
It's hard, man, because every single one of these guys There you go. Every single one of these guys are here for a reason. You know, you get excited. There's passion about bringing these guys in. Again, we're looking at the field right now. We're talking about Lamar Jackson. We talk about Kobe Bryant. Like, all these guys are here, and there was passion from whether it's a scout or a coach to bring them in, and the way they're out there competing, you get excited about it. So it's really challenging to cut the roster down.
Okay, are you drafting based on names? Kobe Bryant, Lamar Jackson, and then what's tougher? Analyzing or trying to talk while also having that rooting interest?
It's hard, man.
Like, make the tackle.
I don't know how y'all do this job. It is challenging. It's hard.
3rd and 4 right now. Can the Falcons make the stop? The run up the middle. Yes, they do. They make the stop at the 5, and so the question's going to be with Dan Campbell.
Well, you know Dan's going to go for it on 4th down. Come on now,
Terry said, why you even ask that? Come on, you know he's going for it. What are we talking about here?
We see 3-4 guys arriving at the ball there. I mean, and that is part of this new Jeff Ulbrich scheme, right?
Yep.
How have you seen that come to life early in this preseason?
Oh, it's been awesome. And you know, talking to Jeff right before the game, obviously he's frustrated because he wants to be able to scheme it up and call stuff, but he's not going to do that. It's going to be vanilla. But he says, all I want to see is a heart, mind, fist. Guys going out, throwing their bodies around and competing.
Here's a chance to do just that. Handoff again up the middle, and they get the stop.
Looks like he got it.
Yeah. I was thinking about the end zone. I was getting ahead of myself.
As you can see here, trying to get a little penetration up the middle here. And guys coming off of blocks, but they get a little bit more push, falls forward, picks up the 1st down. Now 1st and goal. These are critical points. These are things that, Terry, that you can learn a lot about guys here, especially on the goal line.
It's a big deal. You know the run's coming, right? You know they're going to run the ball right at you, so this is one of those, we got a challenge.
Yep.
Here we go. Are we going to do the virtual?
Let's hope
we
so.
have that thing, the virtual measurement.
It's a good call right there.
But these are those moments. And you know the run's coming. And in those times when the run's coming and everybody knows it, and it's just you against that other guy, and you can really, truly see what you're made of.
All right, we're going to keep you around just until we come back, find out the ruling. It might be a stop. We've got a challenge here on the field. And so now it's 1st and goal from the 1 for the Lions. Terry Fontenot still with us as he's watching, bending back, hoping for a stop.
They threw it.
And it's going to be a touchdown. Caught by Jackson Meeks once again.
Yeah, that's a bread and butter play down at a goal line. You bring him down in motion, stack him up right behind him, and any false steps, he gets out leverage, and that's what happened there. Was able to get the corner, and you can see right on the edge, he gets the corner. You see the simple roll here, they stacked him, and now you see just beat him by a step, and that's all you need, especially when you're on the 2-yard line.
And that's an example of a guy. Mike Hughes he's an exceptional special teams player. What he does as a gunner, what he does in the kicking game, but now it's a chance for him to go out and establish himself in that nickel role. What can you do on defense? Can you be a corner? Can you be a safety? So really going out there and showing what he can do, going out there and trying to compete on defense, because we know he's a really good special teams player.
Jake Bates converts the extra point. Terry, can't thank you enough. We didn't intend to keep you for the entire quarter, but you're too good.
Terry, I think you like it up here. I think you like it.
Best of luck.
I used to be the 2nd best looking bald guy up here.
10. Lions now lead the Falcons with 42 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Jake Bates to kick off. Elijah Dotson, Natron Brooks are back. This will be Brooks. He will take it back to the 29-yard line. Right now, time for the AT&T Connecting with the Rookies.
Yeah, 2 first-rounders there coming off the edge. The pressure players, as Terry Fontenot likes to call them. They found 2 dogs. Walker coming in from a phenomenal program, championship mentality at UGA. And then James Pierce, they did their homework on him and found that he has this desire that is hard to find in younger players. They thought, why wait another year to get someone to go with Walker? Why not just get 2 war dogs, as he called them?
You said 2 dogs, maybe 1 dog and a ball, or the mentality of dog. I got you. There you go.
Murray Jones on 1st down, throws, completes the pass. A 14-yard pickup.
Nice to see Emory Jones out there getting some play. I got to see him play in person when he was, what was that team called down South Florida, Gators?
I'm unsure.
You familiar with that one?
I'm unsure. No idea.
They're excited for. They brought him in because they thought this is a guy could kind of have that skill set of a Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, they brought him in the week of the Washington game, yeah.
And to kind of mimic him, and they said, you know what, he's that good that we should maybe keep him around. And here he is just getting an opportunity, and we'll see more of him coming up in just a bit.
That is the end of the third quarter. Lions leading 17-10. We'll be back after this short timeout here on Fox 5. (17-10) as we start the fourth quarter here in Atlanta, preseason week number 1. Emory Jones in at quarterback. And off to Nathan Carter. Carter with that burst of speed. It looks different with him.
Recognition of that hole opening up, and if he has any bit of light, he's hitting it fast.
There's a player down. It's Maurice Norris, number 26 for Detroit. Let's hope he's okay. He's out there looking at him. This is the replay. Look at his head snap back as it hits the leg of Nathan Carter. And right away, he was spazzing. Everyone's on a knee. And all you're doing right now is hoping and praying that Maurice Norris is okay. The NFL, it's a brotherhood. And right now, everyone is pulling for their brother.
They can get going.
Nathan Carter is in there in the backfield after a delay of about 12 minutes. And we just hope he's okay.
Looks like they're going to let a play go.
It looks like Emory Jones was looking up. They were ready to snap the ball. The clock is running. I'm not sure exactly what is happening. We're getting reports that there might be a clock issue at the moment. What was a really good game, exciting, fun, has turned on its side right now. And Sean Hockley, the referee, he's not doing anything. Could this be them just letting the clock run out? But I don't think you would do that, would you? Wouldn't you just call the game if that were the case?
Yeah, I'm sure what's happening. I mean, Dan Campbell's, he's, on his knees watching like he's waiting for the next play, and Coach Morris on the other side doesn't like he has his headset on and just watching. Both teams are talking in the middle.
And now they're just going to come in to pray. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we did see Coach Campbell and Coach Morris speaking for a moment, and you wonder if they did question, given the potential serious nature of this injury.
Now the entire crowd has stood up.
It's a powerful moment.
Moment that'll be seen around the world for sure.
I've never seen this before. Both teams on the field, helmets on, snapping the ball, coming together, forming a circle, now hugging, showing their respects to one another, and having just said a prayer for Mr. Norris, who is on his way, hopefully, to a speedy and full recovery after the hit he took.
We're always taught as broadcasters never to assume anything with an injury. And when you're a player, you don't assume anything either. But one thing that I've learned from my dad, who's a doctor, is you always, as a doctor, assume the worst and then go from there. And right now, I get the sense that right now the players, from what they just saw, they're assuming the worst and they're hoping for the best. Some of the fans are heading towards the exits right now, and I do believe that's going to be the end of this game.
It's a powerful message if that's what's going on. Putting things into perspective in this day and age where health and safety has become such a hot topic and a point of emphasis. We have seen, yes, rules changing. We've seen protocols put in place to make the game safer. We've seen the equipment evolving to be safer, but we have also seen this evolution of the mindset of a football player. They're no longer the day where it's, hey, rub some dirt on it, get back out there, next snap. These are human beings who are fully aware of the dangers of this game, and you can see the character of these men out here tonight and how they responded to this injury.
Jen, as we're watching this unfold, what are you hearing on the sideline?
I'm back over on the Falcons sideline, Kutch, and obviously Maurice Norris is the most important thing, and it's what everyone is thinking about and praying for. But I can tell you they are packing up the whiteboards. They're putting them away in their cases. They're emptying water bottles here. I'm standing with some of the Falcons leadership as well as the NFL reps. Every game has NFL reps. They aren't sure what's going on. So if indeed this game is being called, that's a decision being driven on the field by the players and coaches. They're waiting to find out an official word, official decision, just as much as we are.
Yeah, and you know what I kind of go back to is, Shock, what you had said, seeing Dan Campbell and Raheem Morris together. If the players say we don't want to play anymore, we're in the fourth quarter of the first preseason game, why not just walk off the field then? I mean, now you snap the ball. There was 14:50 left on the clock.
Right.
We're now at 9:04, and the players are out there. We saw them come together to pray, and they just stayed out there.
Yeah, and it's, only one other situation really sticks out in the mind of fans who watch this game, or even who don't watch this game, but I think we all remember what happened to Damar Hamlin and the effect that had for so long on so many guys. And you mentioned it. We saw Dan Campbell. We saw Raheem Morris meet on about the 45-yard line. You saw them talk, exchange, go back and forth. And then when we came back on, we saw Dan Campbell talking to his team. And he could easily be saying there, this is the end of the ball game for us. And in a moment like that, and I remember when we came back, after a situation like that, it's so hard to just flip that switch again and go 100 miles per hour and play a football game and try to get your mind around what you just saw and get back into game mode. So I completely understand where these players are coming from, and you have to respect what Dan Campbell and Raheem Morris maybe came together and said, look, maybe this football game is not the most important thing to have going on right now.
Well, Sean Hockley just walked over to speak with Raheem Morris. Dan Campbell's talking to some of the officials on the near sideline. And I believe Hockley's going to come over and speak with Campbell right now. There's under 7.5 left on the clock. I do believe this is unprecedented. I've never seen it before where the clock has been running. Nobody's doing anything.
It's a powerful moment. It's a powerful gesture and statement to that young man, Maurice Norris. Whenever he goes and